Hello everyone, today is Wednesday, January 23rd, 2019. On my right is my computer clock and you can see the time. It's 1:28 p.m. It's about 2.5 hours before the regular session close. On my left is the time in sales and you can see the E-mini S&P trading at 26.27 approximately. It was a really excellent day. It was one of those days where just about all of the charts that I'm following were winners. So pretty spectacular day today. First up is the DAX on the Super 14 tick that we've seen so many times. And this is the one with the higher goal of 35.50 and a loss limit of 22.50 and a limit order with a 4-tick pullback. And you can see the trades here. Pretty nice. We drew down only about $900 or $450 per contract. So one of the reasons I plot the equity curve to start flat at the beginning of every session is that by looking at this you can get some valuable information. For example, our drawdown was $900. That's only $450 a contract. Here my loss limit is $22.50 or $11.25 a contract. So the point is when you're creating your strategy, you want to try to get your loss limit as low as possible. You want to give it some room so that it can recover from a drawdown, but you don't need to let it get stopped out this far. So this loss limit on this chart is probably doesn't need to be this high, and it's probably true of most of my charts. I'm being pretty liberal here in my settings, and your profit targets would probably be less as well depending on the size of your account. But all in all, looking at your equity curve every day starting flat, you can get a good idea of how much your settings, your template, whatever settings you've created, have drawn down for the day, and you can make adjustments and get it as low as possible. Another thing to note here is you can clearly see that the winners for the most part are larger than the losers, and that this was able to absorb quite a few losers and hit its goal for the day. Okay, so here is a brand new chart, and this came as about the result of a client and I were discussing using larger sensitivities, and this is something he came up with using a larger sensitivity. The sensitivity on this chart is actually 9, and this is a Super 6 on the DAX. And so I basically took this idea and kind of tested it out here and gave it a little bit of money management. It's a limit order with an 8-tick pullback, and I put a pretty large goal on here, but I don't think it needs to be that large. And just some money management. This was my first try. This is trading 2 contracts, and so this is the first time I've plotted this, and it actually worked out pretty good. We got filled on our limit order here. It was an 8-tick pullback, and you can see that the sensitivity of 9 is containing a lot of noise here. And I've got a fairly short profit target, but this basically caught the whole of this move, and it had a losing trade here, but then it went short again. So this loser kind of drew it down quite a bit, so perhaps a tighter stop loss might be in order. But anyway, it came back with another winner here and did 20.75 for the day, so this is pretty impressive. First time out of the gate. Not sure how this is going to fare over the long term, but it looks pretty good. I might make a few more adjustments to this, as I'm always trying new things. It's good to try new things. I think the money management could be improved here, but this is encouraging. Well, it's all about the DAX today. This is the 150 Heikin-Ashi tick chart, and this started off with a couple of losers here. It drew down about $1,000 or $500 per contract, but then it came back with these 2 trades back to back, and I think that was enough to bring it up to its goal of 2100. So probably had just a tick or two of slippage here, but a strong finish. Okay, next we have the NASDAQ on a 1597 Heikin-Ashi tick chart, and this drew down about $600 or $300 per contract. There was a couple of losers here, but then it recovered with this pretty large winner here, and then another nice size winner here, and finished at 1320. Our goal on this is 1550, so not sure if it hit its goal. I think it just came shy of its goal. The DAX on the Super Inco 14 tick started off with a small loser here. You can see it on the equity graph, just under $100 as a drawdown, and then came back with these two winners and hit its goal and had some slippage. Our goal on this is 2050 or 2000 even. So this had a little bit of slippage, but hit its goal on a total of 3 trades. Okay, the DAX on a 377 Heikin-Ashi chart hit its goal of 1550 on a single trade. So this had 1 tick of slippage. Okay, the crude oil on a Super Inco 7 tick did 1410 for the day. The goal on this is 1200, so this had some pretty strong positive slippage, as there was pretty fair amount of volatility in the crude today. Okay, next up is the crude oil on a 987 tick chart, and we have an open position here, long from 52.41, and we're just minus a tick on the trade right now, so we'll see if this maybe has some short covering into the close of the crude oil. But anyway, it's at 950, and our goal on this is there is no goal. It's open, and this is the chart I have with a stop running at a higher low of the bar. Okay, the E-mini S&P on a Super Inco 4 tick chart. This has a goal of 1050, a limit order with a 1 tick pullback, and a higher time frame filter of Super Inco 6. We've seen this chart quite a bit. This is trading only 2 contracts. Okay, another chart with the E-mini S&P on a Super Inco 4 tick with no higher time frame filter, and this is a 2 tick pullback, trading 2 contracts, and a goal of 1000. So this hit its goal and had 1 tick of slippage. Okay, the E-mini S&P on a Super Inco 6 tick that starts trading at 12:30 noon using our line break logic had 3 trades here, a very small loser and 2 back-to-back trades, and hit its goal of 700 or 750. Probably had a tick of slippage per contract. Okay, the E-mini S&P on a 1597 Heikin-Ashi tick chart did 962.50 for the day, and the drawdown was only about 400 or 200 per contract, and then of course recovered from that, and the goal on this chart is 1000, trading 2 contracts. Okay, the NASDAQ on a 987 tick chart drew down about $600 or 300 per contract, and then finally recovered in the afternoon, making an equity high of about 1200 and then settling in at 725. And so the goal on this is 1550, so just a couple of hundreds shy of its goal, at its equity high, I should add. Okay, next up is the E-mini S&P on a Super Inco 4 tick. This does not have a higher time frame filter. The goal on this is 1000, and so once again, slightly different money management, different sensitivities on these Super Inco 4 tick charts. This one drew down about 800, which is 400 per contract, but then recovered with a couple of nice trades here and finished at 987.50, so it actually hit its goal. That's all for today's video. Thanks for watching today.